This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching the Indiana Sports Network.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network. Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News and World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 18 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence. You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology for tonight's conference affair between the Franklin Grizzlies and the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Happy New Year, folks, to everyone out there and from us here at the Indiana Sports Network. Troy, glad to be with you once again. Yep. Troy Wilson, Walter Gordon, and I hope your New Year is off to a good start and you had a good holiday.
So far, so good.
Very good.
We're 4 days deep. Everything's good. So
have you written 2022 yet?
Yeah. We don't worry about that.
All right.
Grab
I've been doing okay so far.
That's good.
But the year is young, and there'll be plenty of times for mistakes of writing the wrong year.
Yeah, we'll try to save them for a few months in
there
at least. But we'll hope the Engineers can get started hot tonight.
We hope so.
Rough loss last time out.
Yeah, look at the Engineers and the Franklin Grizzlies. A couple of teams right in the middle of the conference, right at 5th and 6th respectively. Rose-Hulman 5 and 6, Franklin 5 and 4, and both of them 500 in conference. Rose-Hulman 2 and 2, Franklin 1 and 1. So really early in conference. That's what we're shooting for. You have your non-conference, and right here we're starting the meat of the conference season. It's going to be a long, grueling haul. And like you said, you try to get the year off to a fresh start.
Yeah, and with this being the second of 4 straight home games,
right.
Now we've got 3 consecutive conference home games to start. Couldn't ask for a better setup for Rose to get a good start in conference play. Been kind of rough on defense. Yeah. They've had trouble guarding the 3. Mm-hmm. Franklin is a team that can shoot the 3 a little bit, so you would hope over the last 2 weeks maybe they've corrected some of those problems and we can avoid what happened against Wabash.
And, of course, we talk about matchups quite a bit, and we'll talk about the matchups tonight as the things progress, and we'll see. You talked about some adjustments we were hoping to see, and maybe we'll see tonight, and, of course, Rose-Hulman is generally bigger than most of their conference opponents. And so the matchups become quite interesting when you're playing a team like Franklin that likes to shoot that 3.
Yeah, you're right. And you talked about it last game, the Wabash game, how Rose-Hulman plays a little different than a lot of the teams they go up against. Yeah. A lot bigger inside guys most of the time, and that influences, how they do guard the 3, for instance. And so far it's bitten them, but it can be corrected. And,
right.
You got 2 first-year coaches going up against each other in this one, so that'll be interesting. Rose-Hulman out for a bit of revenge. They took both regular season matchups last year against Franklin, but then lost in the tournament to them. So kind of a shocker to their system, I think.
And I believe Franklin, the last time they played in the regular season was right at the end of the regular season. I'm not going to say it was the last game, but it was toward the end of the regular season, and then Franklin just laid the wood.
They took it to them.
They laid the wood. And then Franklin went on to win the conference championship. So Franklin, graduated some really good players from last year, but had a really good season, and we'll see them for the first time here tonight. We'll take our first break in our pregame show as you'll come back for more. This is Rose-Hulman basketball presented by the Indiana Army National Guard.
XLH Sports, the undisputed leader in Indiana high school sports, is proud to be associated with the Indiana Sports Network. XLH Sports. Check it out today.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Just about 10 minutes away from tip-off here, the first game here in the Holbert Arena, calendar year 2023. And just really excited to see what Rose-Hulman brings to the table. The guys had a chance to go home and get some, some love from their families, hopefully got their bellies full from some good home cooking.
Not too full.
Not too full. Yeah, got a little chance to work it off. But sometimes it's good to get away, recalibrate, and then come back. And Rose-Hulman has a really tough test with Franklin tonight.
Yeah, they really do. Franklin, one guy we're going to watch is Carter Crow.
Absolutely.
He's he's their leading scorer, 16 points per game, lights out from three. I think he's 52% on the season. So certainly one that you're going to want to kind of key in on.
It seems like he's been here forever.
It does. It's one of those guys.
Man.
He's like, I remember Brian Cardinal when he played for Purdue.
Yeah.
Seemed like he played for him for a decade.
Man.
He's one of those guys.
It's just a sign of respect. There's some guys that you don't mind being on the roster because it's like, oh, okay. But Carter Crow is one of those guys where you're like, man, I'm so glad that he's a senior. When he plays other teams, love to watch him play. But he is a thorn on the side of Rose-Hulman and has been for many years.
In many schools, honestly.
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
He's had a great career, and as a Rose-Hulman faithful, you glad to see it come to an end after this season.
That's
All good things come to an end.
Right.
So Trey Flatt's another guy, shoot the three. He's averaging in double digits as well. So a lot of weapons on this Franklin team. As you mentioned, they graduated a few guys, but they're still a very strong team.
I could call a couple of names, but I don't want to miss people, so I'm going to hesitate from doing that until I have them in front of me. But you look at the roster, very young roster in the starting lineup, especially a few sophomores. So you're looking at a retooled team, but a team that will still be very dangerous from the outside, especially.
Yeah, and especially as the year goes on, the more experience they get, probably the better they're going to be. And first-year coach Chris Hamilton's done a good job so far. What are they, 7-4 overall? Won 3 of their first 4 conference matchups, including a couple on the road. So they look like they could be very strong in the years to come.
And when you look at Rose-Hulman, led by, it's always a very deep team. When you look at Rose-Hulman, you have 10, 11 bodies you can bring into the ball game. But you look at their leading scorers, led by Eminem, I guess I could call it, McGowan and Max. So the couple of guys that are leading things for the Engineers.
Yeah, McGowan, he's tough game in and game out. He's averaging about 12 a game.
Which he should be. With that size and skill set, that's where you want him to be, even as a sophomore.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's even better. He's kind of leading the team at this, still an underclassman. So that gives you a lot of hope for the next couple of years for sure. And, Max he's a tough guy, tough kid. He's averaging in double digits, one of the best free throw shooters on the team. So They need those guys to be consistent night in and night out down
Right.
this coming stretch here in the next couple months, because only the top 6 in the conference go to the tournament. Right now, Rose is sitting 5th, so every game is a big game right now.
You don't have a whole lot of wiggle room because, like you mentioned, and I'm glad that you mentioned that postseason. It's not too early to start thinking about postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Because those seedings, it's going to be tight in the HCAC as it normally is. I believe it was last year or 2 years ago where, you had all 10 because of COVID, and that was nice. But now we're back to top 6, and it's going to be, going down to the last game of the season. I don't care if it's the last Saturday and there's one game that starts at 4 o'clock instead of 2. That's the game that's going to decide it. I guarantee you. That's what it's going to go down with. And
that's how we want it to be.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is
especially,
a lot of fun.
Especially for Kevin Lanke.
Yeah.
We make fun of him. We kind of jest because it kind of, it's very stressful. He comes with all the scenarios and he has all that laid out for us. But it'll be a tough stretch.
Oh, it will be for sure. And it seems like it's always kind of that 4th seed through 6th seed.
Yeah.
That's where the mess is. And you've always got 8 teams fighting for those 3 spots, and you'll usually have the 1 or 2 that take off. Anderson and Manchester still undefeated. They're on top of the HCAC right now. But then after that, it's all up for grabs. So.
And we're hearing that Anderson and Manchester are playing tonight, and we will, kind of run down the scoreboard of the conference and see, what's happening as we, progress through this evening. But look at the top of the conference. My guess, and I don't know how you feel about this, Troy, my guess is that the leaders in the conference right now will be different than the leaders in the conference in a week, will be different than the leaders in the conference 2 weeks after that, which could be different than the leaders in the conference at the end of the season. I just don't think that there's a dominant team, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe Manchester or Anderson really are those dominant teams. And this is no disrespect to them, but I just don't think there's a dominant team this year. I think we're going to have a revolving door. We probably could have 3, 4, 5 teams that at some point in the season lay claim to the top spot.
Yeah, and I think the top 4 right now look like a pretty safe bet to stay up there.
Sure.
But, who's to say Rose or Mount St. Joe's can't get on fire and kind of shoot themselves up, because you win 3 or 4 in a row and you can really jump some teams. It's usually pretty close. So.
It's going to be interesting, and, we'll definitely keep our eye on that. And, it's going to be a very a fluid situation, as we, would like to say, as, Rose-Hulman, we talked about the number of games that they have here in a row. This is the 2nd out of 4. They lost that first one to Wabash.
Yeah.
Not a conference game, so even though you want to win, this doesn't hurt you on that side. But Rose-Hulman is going to have to be locked in, especially defensively, as you mentioned, to get this victory here tonight.
Yeah, they are. And, the thing is, when they give up 70 points, they lose the ball game.
Sure.
So they're 0-4 when they've given up 70. Franklin's a team that averages right at about 70. I think it was 72 per game. So, if Rose can lock down a little bit offensively, they're fairly consistent. So, the scary thing is, I was looking up kind of Franklin's season so far, and they put up 111 on Defiance, and that was in regulation.
Wow.
I don't know what happened in that game, but it was 111 to 77.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see that tonight from Frank. The one thing you mentioned, the 70-point plateau for the Engineers defensively, the one thing that you'll look at, the 4 teams that did score 70 points were some awfully fine teams.
That's true.
So that's the one thing that when you're Rose-Hulman, you're not giving up 70 points to, pardon my expression, but Little Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah.
And I say pardon my expression because there might be a college named out there or somewhere, so I don't want to disrespect anybody. But you're giving up 70 points to some awfully good teams. And so is Franklin an awfully good team? We will find out some of the answers to that. The body of work for Franklin is far from fulfilled. But we'll get our first glimpse of them here in a matter of moments and find out what they are made of this year. Franklin visiting Rose-Hulman, just your HCAC game of the week right here on the Indiana Sports Network. We'll step aside for the playing of our national anthem, come back with the starters and the tip. Rose-Hulman basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021, Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
And there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtles!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
And now the starting lineup for tonight's ball game. Trey Flatt. Cody Samples. Len King. Ryan Bostic.
Number 15, Carter Crow. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for your Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. At guard, the 5'9" freshman out of Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 2, Kobe Studemeyer. At guard, junior, 5'11" junior out of number 3, Bradley Harden. At guard, the 6'2" senior out of Carmel, Indiana, number 5, Max Chaplin. At forward, the 6'5" senior out of Fishers, Indiana, number 10, Terry Hicks. And at forward, the 6'7" sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana, number 42, Miles McGowan. The Fighting Engineers are coached by Nick Sales. Fans, the Harlan Collegiate Athletic Conference promotes
for both teams. For Franklin, Flatt, Samples, King, Crow, and Bostic. For the Engineers, Studemeyer, Harden, Chaplin, Hicks, and McGowan. I say interesting. Number 1, Terry Hicks back in the starting lineup, so hopefully he's much healthier. That's good to see that. Also, Studemeyer in the starting lineup for possibly the first time in his young Rose-Hulman career. Thirdly, a 3-guard lineup when you look at Chaplin, Harden, and Studemeyer. So that, to me, very intriguing.
Yeah, there's a lot of speed on the floor, and we talked about it in the Wabash game, how Studemeyer came off the bench and was a bit of a spark. So, you know, maybe he's earned his spot, and tonight he gets his big chance here.
A big thank you to Culver's Farm Bureau Insurance with Michael Bonomo, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. York has locations in Brazil, Greencastle, Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. A total of 5 in total. McGowan and King tipping it up in the Engineers with possession number 1. Man-to-man look for Franklin defensively. Engineers trying to move the ball, trying to get a good look. Nice high hands by Franklin and a great effort to try to chase down that loose ball, but stepping or landing at some point, the ball landed out of bounds. And it will stay with Engineers, 12 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Trey Flatt, one of the more active guys on the Franklin defense, and he showed it there.
Did he ever?
He's got a beard to match, too.
You got to love that.
If you're
nice if your mascot is the Grizzlies, it matches perfectly.
It does.
Chaplin in the corner short. Here come the Grizzlies. Engineers with man-to-man defense, like the pressure by Harden on Samples. And a turnover. Engineers trying to get off in the break. Hicks, did he charge? He did. It's a great defensive maneuver there by Samples, who gets up a little gimpy.
Yeah, he was just outside the circle there, so Hicks just a little too fast, a little out of control, and good job by Samples setting up in the right spot.
Yep.
Still hobbling a little bit
he
over
is.
there.
We'll have to watch that. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight here on the Indiana Sports Network. Students are back, and it's nice to see the students here tonight. It's always good. 10 on the shot clock for Franklin. Stoudemire, the pressure of the elephant. And Rosie. Here comes King down the lane, unimpeded. And the first basket on the board for Franklin. Fast down the court, right down the middle. Terry Hicks ties it at 2.
Franklin not able to get set up there. A big answer by Rose-Hulman.
I love the early offense, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of movement for Franklin, as you would expect to see. Pitch in the corner. Guess who? Off, and McGowan skies for the rebound. That was Carter Crow with the three-point attempt. 2-2 your score. Harden in the paint, bottom of the rim, but here comes the offensive board to the Engineers.
Good job by Stoudemire slowing this down. Rose-Hulman just a bit quick.
Stoudemire thinks about it. He takes it, and he hits it.
It's that spark we were talking about. He brought it last game when he came in off the bench against Wabash, and big three there to start things off.
Engineers sound defensively to this point. Crow's going to bring a lot of attention. Bostic now with it on Rosie. 5 on the shot clock. Got to have to put something up. Corner 3 is good. Trey Flatt.
Flatt about a 30% shooter from beyond the arc, so they've got some weapons out there. 2 or 3 of them can shoot it really well.
Rose trying to take advantage of the size. They do hit with an opportunity for an and one.
Boy, Terry Hicks has been really aggressive on the offensive end. Love to see that.
Yep. First sub of the game is as McGowan takes seat. It's going to be Simon Blair, number 44. He and McGowan tonight, I would imagine, will kind of share minutes along with Vuk Juric. I'm looking up and down the bench. Oh, do I see Vuk? I'm looking for him. Do you see? Okay. All right. So they will not share minutes with Vuk. They would have.
Well, we argued about how to pronounce his name last game, so we don't have to do that tonight.
Yeah. I get the first name right. 8-5 Engineers. Franklin once again deep into the shot clock. Under 10, I think, on almost every possession. Nice screen and roll. Great job by Hicks, the defense. Causes the extra pass. The corner 3 is good once again. Woo! Bostic. 8-8.
He doesn't shoot the 3 as much, but he, again, about a 40% three-point shooter.
Great job by Samples to stay down on the pump fake from Harden. Blair draws 2. Opposite pass. Ball moving very nicely. And how about Stoudemire? Oh, shot was in and out. Hicks a strong rebound. Put it up. Oh, Max, I thought he was going to shoot that. Woo, almost a turnover there by Hicks, but he held on to the ball. 8 on the shot clock. Desperation time. Down to 4. Blair with 3. Left hand off the glass. No. Hicks with the glass. Emphasis on ball movement tonight for the Engineers, as you can see. Harden with 6. Hicks puts one up. That looks good. No. Almost got a 4th attempt at it, but Max couldn't squeeze it. Here comes Flat. Harden the rebound. Tied at 8, a nice rim run, and here comes the corner 3 by Chaplin. No. Hicks couldn't quite squeeze the rebound, a little frustrated at himself. Like the young man who was in the barbershop chair over Christmas break here, looking awfully nice there. When you go home, you got to get your hair right.
Yeah, Hicks is owning the lane so far on both ends. Great defense, and offensively, he's been a stud so far in this.
Boy, King, a tough shot over some really good defense. Great job by Hicks not to pick up foul number 2. 4 subs at the scorer's table on the next dead ball. 2 for each team. Hicks feels like one of them could be for him. Corner 3, Stoudemire. Nope, but Hicks the rebound. Strong with the take. 2-point lead for the Engineers.
Terry Hicks owning the boards offensively so far for the Engineers.
Absolutely. Flat. Samples. You like the back cutting, and the Engineers staying true. Duff, a 3 with the Engineer hand right in his face. Blair trying to establish position. Cross court to Harden. Now 5 at the now 6 at the scorer's table. We're going to have a line change possibly if we keep up for a couple more minutes. Harden with 8. Chaplin will shoot. Right wing 3 is short. Can't find the reach right now. Travel. Yep. Just couldn't quite gather his feet. It was a traveling violation. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. 2-point lead for the Engineers right back after this.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you're always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
Ten to 8, your score early in the game. You look at the first rotation, if you will. Terry Hicks, 7 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds. To speak to his dominance on the board, like you were saying.
Yeah, and 4 of those 5 are offensive rebounds. So he's given the Engineers some second, third chances here.
Yeah.
And, as you mentioned a minute ago, Rose-Hulman's doing an excellent job of stopping the back cuts by Franklin so far. They really kind of fell victim to those the last couple of games.
And we'll get the substitutions for you for both teams here. For Rose-Hulman, Farnsworth, as well as Jackson and Bowman in the game. We'll get to Franklin's here in a moment. Jackson on the drive. The strong take. And the 2. I believe we had Jalen Love, Logan Hudgens, and Nathaniel Hoffman, I do believe, for the 3 that came in for Franklin. Love the shoes by Hoffman.
Those are eye-catching.
Yeah, they are. Deep in the shot clock again. 5. Ooh, almost a drag of the pivot foot, and Hoffman had to bail him out with a mid-range. Couldn't quite get that to go down. Engineers trying to build on their 4-point lead. Elbow jumper for Farnsworth. No good, but another off of the board, and Farnsworth right there with the putback. Biggest lead of the game for the Engineers.
A lot more energy from Rose-Hulman than Franklin so far in this one. They are really after it in the paint.
Franklin hasn't scored in the last 4 minutes. There's an opportunity. Hoffman, a beautiful move in an easy 2 points with the up and under. Started with the pump fake. Oh, was that a double dribble? It was close. Farnsworth. Oh, and he goes to get 3 shots. He's going to get 3 as Jalen Love, the 6'2 junior from Indianapolis, crashed into him.
Yeah, silly foul there, just a little out of control.
And another media timeout. 11:49 to go, first half.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
It may be chilly outside, but it's never too chilly for some frozen custard at Culver's. They always will get you hooked up with the sweet treats and some butter burgers too. So never too cold for Culver's.
This has been one aspect of the game Rose-Hulman you'd like to see him get a little better at. Just about a 62% shooting team from the free throw line.
Farnsworth will have 3 coming out of the break, and to speak of, as he mentioned, the best he can do on this trip will be 66.6666666666%.
So what was your resolution for the New Year,
I
Wall?
honestly didn't make any. I didn't take that much time to think about it, to be honest. Somebody did ask me that, and I don't know what I came up with. I don't even remember what I said. I'll have to think about that. What was yours?
Oh, I don't do that.
Okay. All right. I usually don't either, but for the sake of conversation, I was going to try to come up with something, but I see how you are. You're going to leave me out to dry there, Joy. 16-10. Engineers hopefully resolute to get a conference win here tonight. Hoffman on the drive. Ooh, boy.
It's a touchy one.
Yeah. I think old Miles McGowan slid his feet pretty well. Maybe a little reach there.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it.
All right. Neither team with many team fouls, 2 apiece. First free throws of the night by Franklin. And Samples coming back into the game. He'll take the place of Bostic.
You know, Franklin wears navy blue and old gold.
Yes,
and
they
I was
do.
trying to figure out the difference between new gold and old gold. Couldn't quite come up with it.
I bet it spins the same. And a turnover by Rose. Not many turnovers to speak of. Their second, I believe, of the night, as Franklin has a couple as well.
And that is one thing Franklin will do. So you'd like to see Rose keep the pressure up defensively. They do turn the ball over. They average about 13.5 a
There
game.
you go. Keep talking about it there. Engineers trying to get on the break. 4 on 3. Farnsworth using the rim. as a protector, and Rose-Hulman extends the lead to 7.
Yeah, if you pressure the Grizzlies, they will crumble occasionally.
Nice backdoor look. King is a strong customer. Crafty around the basket, couldn't get that one. Here comes McGowan with the board. Quickly up the floor. Farnsworth looking there to usually kind of absorbs contact. Couldn't quite absorb it there. King met him in the air with a little resistance. Ball going the other way.
Well, so far in the first 9.5 minutes, it seems like the Engineers went home for 2 weeks and toughened up.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, they are playing really tough in the paint tonight.
You know, Lynn King is a 6'4" sophomore from South Bend, and this is a young man that I'm very high on. Not to say that I'm not high on other guys from Franklin, but I'm just saying this is a young man that does a lot for his team. His ability to defend and also score around the basket really helps the squad. A foul by Hoffman. Hudgens committed the foul, but King is very crafty around the basket. You'll see it as the game goes on, as he picks his opportunities. He really gave Rose-Hulman fits last year. Pressure, full court for Franklin now. Maybe a trap. We'll see.
Just trying to give Rose a different look there, as the Engineers have been pretty successful so far no matter what they've done.
Hicks, he's been successful, and he continues his success. He's the first guy in double figures with 10 on the night. Terry Hicks is hot.
This is the Terry Hicks of old we're seeing here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It all starts with getting home and getting a fresh fade, man, and that's all. That's all he needed was a haircut.
Comes back to the hair, right?
Tough defense by Jackson in the block. Here comes the Engineers. Block to Hicks. He draws 2. Ball moving. Here comes Jackson. The corner 3 in and out. It's a great look. I love the fact that the ball is moving side to side for the Engineers right now.
Yeah, a lot more active offensively, passing-wise than they normally are, it seems.
Yep. King in the corner with 9 on the shot clock. Oh, my! That's what I'm talking about there.
Yeah,
the
he's
kid
a
is
creator.
crafty.
You got to have one or two of those guys that can just create, and he's one of those.
Very athletic. Max Chaplin just can't quite find it. Got to keep shooting that ball. Nice defense by Hicks. Chaplin gets stymied.
Like to see McGowan get a little more involved
right here
on the offensive end.
Has the size advantage. Oh boy, he just hurt himself there as he comes up a little gimpy. Got off balance. Let's see if he can play through this. Blair is up. We'll see if they make a move. I don't know if he's already been to the scores table anyway. Chaplin guarding very well. Created the miss. Max Chaplin, the defensive stopper. Like Raja Bell. Oh, man,
nice.
This family's going to tease me for that one. Jackson to take. And a timeout. Timeout by Franklin. A 10-point lead for the Engineers. Under 8 minutes. We'll be right back.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look for ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care. Leaving a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Men's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s,
Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
Engineers shooting 41% from the field thus far, 9 of 22. Unfortunately, just 2 of 10, 20% from 3. So that's one thing that Franklin, if they can weather the storm and start getting hot from the outside like they are accustomed to doing, they'll get right back in this basketball game. Grizzlies with the ball. Working the ball. It's a beautiful stutter step and getting in the lane, and easy two for Trey Flatt. Sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Soft little pump fake there, kind of got everybody floating through the air.
How many times have we seen that tonight for Franklin so far?
Rose-Hulman leading the points in the paint 14-8, so they have dominated the inside game.
16-8 is, they don't have an answer for Terry Hicks. They flat out don't. At least right now, the one thing that I'd like to see Franklin do is make Hicks defend a little bit, and here we go. He's got 2 right there. Now he's got 2. I meant to say he has 1 foul. Just picked up foul number 2 with the reach. Yeah, I did. I did.
But no, a great start for Hicks tonight, the senior from Fishers. He has really carried this Engineer team on his back through the first half of this one.
That was Jacob Deere, the sophomore from Union, Kentucky, that I believe was the ball handler that drew that foul. We'll see who the Engineers go to offensively now. King had the man on the cut, didn't take it. He's got the mismatch with Chaplin. Chaplin absorbing the contact, and how about that? Max Chaplin back-to-back stops defensively. Draws the foul. King with the reach.
Yeah, Chaplin just a little oversized with King, but boy, he hung in there tough and was able to come away with it.
Yeah, I think Chaplin a little feisty, a little agitated that his shots aren't falling. Harden, a beautiful pass to Blair. What a pass, Bradley Harden. A lot of noise coming from the Engineer students, isn't it?
Unselfish basketball tonight from the Engineers, and boy, is it paying off.
Deep in the shot clock once again. Down to 10. That's Bostic. Little stutter step and go. Gets to the cup. The left-handed layup. You just don't want to be on Rosie with 8 on the shot clock, though.
No.
That's I thought we'd see a little bit faster offense as King picks up another foul to hold on McGowan. He'll have to go to the seat. That's going to be foul number 2. A trio of Grizzlies coming into the game right now. Malachi Archie, along with Nathaniel Hoffman. Who was the third one? Was it? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the third one. We'll figure it out. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Engineers to get something good here. Harden swings it to Stoudemire, almost passed, almost went out of bounds. McGowan, pump fake, draws a foul.
Well, there's just a positive on every possession from Rose so far tonight. Whether it's a foul or getting an easy layup or something, they are really looking good offensively.
16 fouls now for the Franklin Grizzlies. The next one will put Rose in the bonus. Ooh, I thought that was going to be an air ball. That had a lot of air and was perilously close to drawing nothing.
Malachi Archie that you mentioned come in for Franklin. He's one of the freshmen on the team.
Yep. Went to Park Tudor in Indianapolis. They've produced a good guard or two in their time, haven't they?
Just a couple.
Yeah. Down in the block. Boy, you're just not going to stop him down there. Carter Crow at 6'5", just a little bit too tough there on that possession for Max Chaplin. First time for the game in the game, you got Blair and McGowan in the same time. The matchups allow that, though, here with Franklin in the lineup they have on the floor.
Yeah, they keep doubling down on McGowan, but he beats him anyway. Great job by Miles.
30-19, just under 5 minutes to go in the half. Malachi the drive. He's going to get the offensive foul. Yeah, he pushed off. He's wondering what he did. But boy, you can't be right in front of the official and push off that. Obviously, if it would have been a little more subtle, he could have gotten away with that.
Yeah, McGowan down here off on the offensive end, though, turned towards the baseline away from the extra defender and freed himself up for that shot. Veteran move there.
Absolutely. Veteran move from a sophomore. He was a veteran, junior year of high school. The little teardrop from 12 feet now.
That little side dribble to get rid of his man. It's the little details with him and gets him open almost every time.
McGowan's now got 5, I believe. Crow with Stoudemire on him. I'll see if they don't go back to that. Left wing 3 is banged down by Ryan Bostic. That's, I believe, the third three-point hit for Franklin tonight, 3 out of 5.
Yeah, 2 of them are from Bostic, so we're going to have to keep our eye on him.
Chaplin, he's good.
That's big for him to see that go through the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Max's shots just have not been falling as of late. Let's see if we can get him to break out a contest here tonight. Carter Crow, deep with the 3, a little short. Here comes Chaplin. No number. Oh, a look-ahead pass. What a pass. Oh, McGowan couldn't pay it off.
Stayed with it, though.
Max Chaplin, he wants the assist. He's beside himself right now. He's going to say something to McGowan. Say, hey, man, get me the doggone assist, would you? 3:38 to go in the half, 35-22. We'll be right back.
Today's vehicles often require additional procedures such as computer scans for even simple repairs. This ensures that your crash avoidance system and distance sensors are functioning properly.
At Honey Creek Collision, we invest in the latest equipment and technology and provide continuing education for our technicians to ensure a high quality and safe repair.
Honey Creek Collision is a second-generation, family-owned and operated business that you can trust.
So when your insurance company asks, tell them you're going to Honey Creek Collision.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
And there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtles!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Men's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Rose-Hulman, if this half continues like this, they're going to want to just bypass halftime and just keep on rolling. They're up by 13 over Franklin. And one of the better appearances here for Rose-Hulman tonight. They look awfully sharp.
Yeah, they really do. This is the best I've seen them in person so far, but just dominating the boards and great defense so far. We've seen Franklin hit a couple threes, so you have to stay strong out there, but offensively, I mean, Hicks dominant while he's been in there.
Yes.
And now we're seeing McGowan get on a roll here.
And Rose-Hulman at the free throw line once again tonight. Not like they've been at the free throw line all night, but they have attempted more free throws than their counterpart. And it's always good when you knock them down.
Yes, I think that's 6 of 8 so far, so that's pretty good. Out rebounding Franklin by 11. So
yeah, and that's big for the Engineers, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They're usually one of the middle-of-the-road teams. You know, when it comes to rebounding, they average about what their opponents average. So they don't usually get out-rebounded by a lot, but really putting it on the Grizzlies here.
Ryan Bostic to the free throw line. And, you know, with the size that the Engineers possess, you would like to see them be a little more dominant on the glass. But tonight, you know, maybe it's a premonition of things to come.
There seems to be more of a focus inside tonight for sure. And, boy, these guys are playing tough in there.
And there's a turnover, and the Grizzlies have an opportunity to get this to, you know, 11 or 10 points on this trip. You know, they'd love to be down, you know, 5 going into halftime break. It's a great job by Archie to get on the block. Freshman's only 6 feet tall, but he you can tell he is used to being down there.
It's important for Rose to get an answer here. I know they're up by 11, but Franklin showing signs of mounting a charge.
Also showing a zone for the first time here tonight, a little 3-2 zone. And the Engineers look like they were not ready for it. And a travel by Farnsworth. Another opportunity here for Franklin to dent this lead. I love the wrinkle. If things aren't working for you, change it up. Coach Hamilton changed things up, went to a zone, and that directly led to a turnover.
Yeah, 4 turnovers for both teams so far in this one, which honestly you can live with that if you're the coach of either of these squads.
Oh boy, corner 3, nope, pass it up and going for the drive. Get on the floor, boys. Couldn't do it. I'm not in love with the matchup of Chaplin and Crow. Jackson goes down, the 3 goes up.
Here we go.
And it's stripped away, the rebound is stripped away by McGowan. That's a big opportunity here for the Engineers.
Heads up play by Miles to knock that one away, give the Engineers an opportunity.
They had Chaplin on the opposite block. Another pass to McGowan, wasn't quite ready for it. Couldn't get it up, and it's going to be a jump ball. Jump ball as Chaplin is finding McGowan here on a couple possessions.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he kind of caught him off guard with that one, a little no-look down there, but McGowan's kind of the hot hand right now for Rose, so keep feeding him.
Terry Hicks, 2 fouls, was in double digits in the first, 10 minutes of the ball game, having a great first half. Engineers trying to get to this halftime break up double digits. Franklin trying to get it back. Oh, it's a tough foul. Franklin trying to get it down to maybe around 5 or 6. 2 possessions I think would be good for Coach Hamilton. He'd probably take that, given the situation.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jackson's just been a step behind Trey Flatt.
Yep.
I mean, that's easy to do. Flatt ends up that way with most people guarding him. But
screen by King. Stoudemire staying in his little samples. And another, good. Okay. Yep. To get King on the rescreen? Is that what the offensive foul
he was sliding his hips just a little bit.
Okay. That's King's 3rd.
Yeah.
That's a big foul.
Good news for Franklin.
Coach Hamilton kind of rolled the dice there, brought King in. King picks up foul number 3, and it's going to be a big one. We'll see how that progresses. And the Engineers come back with another possession, get ready for the zone here.
Blair kind of floating free down there as Hoffman and Hudgens are both focusing in.
You can't leave him. Now, that's bad defense. That is bad. The one guy on the floor that you do not want to leave, you left him in the corner. That was bad defense right there.
Max will make you pay.
Yep. I was just getting ready to say I don't like the lineup because we only have one shooter. Stoudemire went to the bench. I kind of thought we'd see him in with this zone, but
there's Harden taking away that back cut again.
Down to 9 on the shot clock. Spin move. McGowan's right there. Tough board by McGowan, and the Engineers can extend on the 14-point lead if they can get a bucket here. Take a step back, run a good play, and take the timeout. Take the timeout. Coach Sales will draw up his best play, 17 seconds on the shot clock. We'll be back for the culmination of the half after this.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
26.4 seconds on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock. Who does Coach Sales go to here in this possession, Troy?
Well, I mean, honestly, McGowan's kind of your guy right now, but, you know, they've been leaving Blair to go attack McGowan, so I'd kind of look for Simon Blair right here.
Shot clock down to 9. Cross court to Jackson. Harden with 2. The floater off the glass. Blair's there. Nope, he got fouled. He'll get 2 free throw tosses.
Rose-Hulman shooting 50% tonight, so well above the season average.
Simon Blair, the 6'7" sophomore from Wagoner, Oklahoma, went to Broken Arrow. And I will say, my son has shown me Broken Arrow's marching band, and they are phenomenal. I mean phenomenal. They have an unbelievable marching band.
Can't say I know anything about that, or I'd agree.
Whoa, just trust me.
See Josiah McGee in there for Rose.
Down to 4. Last second heave is off the mark. And we go to break with the Engineers up 42-26, a 16-point lead. If you can duplicate this output the second half, then Rose-Hulman is going to be feeling awfully good. A lot of times the output is not duplicated with a team, no matter who they are. So putting 2 halves like that together is awfully, awfully tough, especially against a team like Franklin. We'll step aside for our halftime, first commercial to come into our halftime break. We'll be back with stats and analysis after this.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
It's time for the halftime report on the Indiana Sports Network.
Engineers with a 16-point lead at the intermission. Not exactly what we thought we'd see, the score 42-26 at the half when this game was going to start.
No, not at all. I mean, Rose-Hulman's come out playing hard-nosed, tough basketball in the paint. They're on pace to have their highest scoring night of the year so far. So they've been shooting the ball well, 80% free throws. Love to see that.
Yeah.
That's been kind of a bugaboo, but shooting almost 50% from the field. They've hit a few threes. Max has knocked down a couple. Terry Hicks just coming out huge, man. That was fun to watch.
I mean, you know, the only thing that slowed him down was foul trouble.
Yeah.
they just had no answer for him.
No, but they were smart to take him out when they did. They left him out. He's going to be nice and refreshed and ready to roll here for the second 20.
You know, you mentioned refreshed. We alluded to this earlier in the broadcast, maybe the pregame. There's something to be said for going home. You know, I know the season really wasn't that old. I mean, you had, 10 games, 11 games that you had played before the Christmas break. But there's something about going home to refresh yourself and then coming back with a kind of newfound energy.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head in the pregame show. You go home, you know, you're around the family, you get comfortable, you get a nice, relaxing break, get back up on your sleep and forget about the studies for a little while. And that, you know, that weighs bigger on some of these guys than anything is, you know, they're not just basketball players. These guys have full-time jobs as students.
That's right.
And at a school like Rose-Hulman or Franklin, it's not an easy thing. So, you know, it's good to just put it all aside. You come back refreshed, ready to roll, and it is obviously bleeding over to the basketball court. So.
You know, there's a college that is also here in Terre Haute, not too far west of here. Exact same thing. You know, you go home, you get, you know, around your people, and you come back ready to go, and you have a little bit better. So Rose-Hulman, you know, hopefully we'll be able to hang on to this and continue the trajectory that they're on right now. But Franklin, a team we talked about, very well versed in hitting the three.
Yeah, they really haven't shot too much. I think they 3 of 8 from three-point land. I would expect a lot more of that because, you know, we've talked about it time and again. That's kind of Rose's weakness. And Franklin's taken a few, and they hit a couple to start this game. And I would expect a lot more from behind the arc from the Grizzlies in the second half.
Well, 42-26 here at half. We're going to take our first break in our intermission and come back with more stats and analysis. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
I ran out of my pain meds too quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional, safe, no wait times, quality treatment. Regain something lost. Call or go to winrecovery.org.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
XLH Sports, the undisputed leader in Indiana high school sports, is proud to be associated with the Indiana Sports Network. XLH Sports, check it out today. This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
So what do we do before we cross the street?
We look both ways for cars.
No cars. All right, let's go.
But Daddy, why do you have to hold my hand?
To keep you safe. That's why we look for cars. I'm watching out for danger to keep you safe.
Daddy, who watches out for you?
Protect your family and loved ones with Micah Bonomo. You're watching the Indiana Sports Network.
At Lynn's Farm.
Back at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, John Minster Court here in the Holwood Arena. As Rose-Hulman has a commanding 16-point lead on the Franklin Grizzlies, and Troy is, I think it's all started with Terry Hicks, but he also had a lot of help.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he's kind of been leading the way offensively, not only shooting the ball, but the rebounding was the most impressive thing, providing second and third opportunities for his teammates. And, yeah, what's he in double figures like you said, within the first 10 minutes of the game. And I'm not sure how many rebounds he had. I think it was 5 when he left, but 4 of them offensive. So real impressive from Terry. It's good to see, after some injuries and stuff.
That's right.
It's awesome to see him come back at full strength like that.
Absolutely. Who else? What else do we have for the Engineers?
Well, McGowan stepped up big in the second part of the second half. Kind of when Hicks went out with foul trouble, they started going to Miles, and boy, he's getting a lot of attention underneath, but he's still finding a way, and it's just the little maneuvers he does down there. They're so fun to watch because we saw the one where he got double teamed, turned towards the baseline, and freed himself up. The next possession comes down, little side dribble to get his man going the other way, finds easy jump shot from the free throw line. So he's been fun to watch. And Blair, kind of a good little role player in there. You know, if they're doubling down on the other guy, there's Blair waiting on him. So just excellent play by the big men inside tonight.
And Rose-Hulman, a team that often plays with two bigs. Tonight, not starting with that, but you did see Blair and McGowan on the floor together for, I'd say in the last 7 minutes, probably 4 or 5 of the last 7 minutes, they were, on the floor together. So that is a tandem that they're both sophomores. They both play the same position essentially. They have similar skill sets. That's a tandem that is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and the Engineers helping to assert their dominance on the boards.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. We're seeing everybody contribute tonight. I mean, obviously Max finally got his shot going a little bit there. Harden, couple big defensive stops inside, but he's the kind of the silent killer down here on defense. He's been cutting off that back screen and just not allowing Franklin to find anybody in the paint. So he's been playing a big role, even though we've not been calling his name too much. And like we already mentioned, Blair and all the big guys, but Stoudemire played a lot of minutes there. Finally got a start tonight. And not lighting up the scoreboard by any means. He did hit a 3 early on, but moving the ball well, he's been a big part of that. So everybody's contributing, and that's why we've got a big lead at halftime.
And you look at for Franklin, Carter Crow, a little quiet tonight, not able to find it, but being hounded by a few different bodies. Yeah,
he really has. When they've had Chaplin on him, he tends to be a little more aggressive.
And he should.
He's bigger than Max. So, and he's tried to take it to him. Max has stood his ground, though. He's not making it easy. And, he has been pretty silent. So that may be a bad thing. But
something tells me he'll be right around his average by the time this thing is over with. King picked up a third foul. Coach Hamilton rolled the dice, brought him back in, picked up that third foul, but King was a guy that really helped Franklin. But we'll see how with his 3 fouls, how he is able to play or how limited he is in the second half.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful with him. I'd kind of be surprised to see him start the second half, but you never know. I was just looking, Crow only has 2 points so far, and I mean, it's a guy that averages 16 a game. So Rose-Hulman's defense, they deserve to be commended for that half of play because, boy, they really shut him down.
Yeah, he'll end up. If I was a betting man, I don't know if 16. If you put the line at 16 and a half, I don't know if I take the over, the under, but I guarantee he's going to be plus or minus 2 points. I mean, he's going to be right there. If it's horseshoes, you're right there. You can just about book this guy. If he ends up with 5 or 6 points, then I'll be stunned. A couple other games here in the HCAC tonight. I know that Defiance and Bluffton are just pretty much tipping off. We had a decision that's already in. Earlham went down at Trancey. Trancey won that game 85-78. Coming out of the halftime break is Mount St. Joe's 31, Hanover 23. And hold on to your seats, folks. I went to 3 different sources to check this score. I was so stunned. Coming out of halftime, Anderson 41, Manchester 60. I checked 3 different places. They're all saying the same thing. unless there's if it's wrong, don't blame the messenger. Blame the message that's on the internet somewhere. That's a stunner right there. Manchester 60 points in the first half. If that's accurate, I think one of the guys had 28. They're shooting like 58%. I mean, just lights out. Lights out for HCAC number one top team right now in Manchester.
Yeah,
so
that's a battle of undefeateds too,
right.
and boy, they're trying to lay claim to the Heartland Conference tonight with authority.
They're trying, but it's a long way to go on the old HCAC. It's 42-26 is the score here at Rose-Hulman. We'll step aside for one last break. Come back to the second half, almost at third quarter. We'll be right back. We're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1. You are. You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
A big thank you to Culver's Farm Bureau Insurance with Michael Bonomo, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Riddell National Bank, and York Automotive. Kenan Harper, Nathan Crown, and Sebastian De La Rosa are camera operators tonight. Our producer and director, Mr. Tony Harper. And Troy, we getting ready to start, half number 2.
Quarter number 3.
That's right. How does Rose-Hulman continue their dominant play here tonight?
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I keep feeding the hogs down in the paint.
Yeah.
So, see who we got coming out here. Obviously, McGowan's coming in. We got Terry Hicks back in there. So, I'd get it to Terry, see if you can get him fired up again, and just keep hitting him in the mouth down there. It's been working so far, but you really got to be leery of Franklin starting to shoot the 3. I really think that's going to happen.
And the Engineers start the half with the ball. And the Grizzlies come out with a little zone look once again. And they helped them out to end the half, or toward the latter stages of the half. And the Engineers a little stymied. Hicks on the block. No matter.
No, it's not tonight. It doesn't. Is that 14 now for Terry?
Yeah. Just give him the ball in a half a step. Ball stripped away by Stoudemire on the drive by Franklin. Out of bounds.
Engineers have 3 guys on pace for a double-double tonight.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? Crow on the inbound pass off the side of the backboard. That most likely will not deter him. And it shouldn't. Stoudemire, the corner 3. Oh, in transition. Assist Max Chaplin.
That's exactly how the first half started. Stoudemire nails a 3, and the spark plug gets him up and rolling.
I like him starting. I'll be honest with you. I think you mentioned he has earned it, and you see what happens here. Into the chest of McGowan goes Logan Hudgens. He comes in with the bucket there. He gets a start in the second half. A little bit more size for Franklin as Hudgens goes 6'4". Chaplin going to keep moving the ball. Oh, and that's a bad pass by Harden. Right into the waiting arms of Crow.
It's almost like he didn't see the defender down there.
Yep.
That's flat. He only had 5 in the first half.
Oh, that's a big corner 3 right there by Hudgens. That was a good-looking shot. That was a good-looking shot. Still in the zone. Harden dials it up from deep. That's a strong rebound. Stoudemire. Oh, off the offensive board. One of the best times to shoot a triple.
3 threes tonight for Stoudemire.
Crow off the hop step.
Got to keep yourself composed here if you're Rose-Hulman.
Oh, boy. Almost another turnover there.
You don't need a perfect half of basketball, but
that's right.
You can't be too sloppy. Don't get too fast.
Chaplin stopped his dribble, got bailed out. Stoudemire. Oh, you're not going to guard me, huh? All right. Went for a little heat check there. Not able to knock it down. The foul's going to go on Rose-Hulman.
I think that one's going on Miles.
Yeah, McGowan's going to pick up, what's that, foul number
It's his second,
2?
I think.
Yeah. Both teams with 5 turnovers apiece. Rose-Hulman with a 17-point lead, 50-33, 17 minutes ago. Nice pass to Crow. That is a beautiful baseline. If a guy drives baseline, there's not but 9 chances out of 10 it's going to be a baseline pass. I don't know why teams can't guard that. That drives me insane.
It always seems like somebody's forgotten in the corner.
Yes.
You know? But there's that 3 ball we keep talking about. This was over 20 a minute ago, and now it's down to 14.
8 on the shot clock. Down low to McGowan. Beat up off the glass. He gets it back. Off the rim, no. Another tip, no. Here comes Franklin. Here comes Franklin. This could lead to a timeout. Archie stopped. It's an interesting matchup with McGowan and Hudgens. With the way Hudgens stepped out, that's going to be interesting to watch. A lot of cutting going on for Franklin.
Got to keep an eye on Bostic, too. He's the leading scorer for the Grizzlies.
Harden with the foul on Malachi Archie. Just used his strength to get in the paint. 15:55 to go in the second half. Lead is trimmed to 14. Franklin starting to show some spark.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape. From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
You're watching Rose-Hulman men's basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
50-36, 15:55 to go in the second half is Troy. You can see Franklin starting to gather some momentum and get back into this game a little bit.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're 3 for 3 from three-point land here in the second half, and they've closed the margin on the points in the paint. All of a sudden, their shooting percentage is better than Rose-Hulman, so they've come out ready to roll here in the second half, and Rose not yet really answering the bell.
No. Especially not defensively. Malachi Archie, the freshman from Indianapolis, at the free throw line. Earned his way there and will shoot one more. You know, the lineup for Franklin, you're looking at, you have 5 guys that is going to be able to cut, space, move the ball, shoot the ball. This is going to be interesting defensively for Rose-Hulman. going to be interesting. Still looking at that zone. Rose-Hulman going to have to assert their dominance in it and score multiple times for Franklin to get out of it. That's a foul. That's what they want to do. Franklin is wanting to bait you into that skip pass to the wing so they could jump it and go the other way for a quick deuce. A little late on that one that time as Bowman got crashed into.
And if you're Rose here, you want to kind of test the discipline of the Grizzlies inside. Get some penetration, see if they double. Maybe you can get Hicks or Blair one-on-one down there.
Into the corner with Chaplin. There's what you said, Troy.
It's a good answer by Max.
I like Bowman and Chaplin in the game at the same time as well as Stoudemire. So you have shooters on the floor with this zone. Ball hopping around for Franklin. At the top is Bostic. Once again, under 10, you're on Rosie's ear. Splits the double team. Wing. Now corner three is short. Might have been tipped. I'm not sure. Blair calling for it. Has position. Chaplin. Corner. A dime once again to Hicks. It was slapped away from him. Max Chaplin's passing tonight has been spot on.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I mean, the no-look passes, the baseline drives, he's pinpoint accuracy.
He is. Inbounds is stolen away. Archie has it.
Franklin so far, the MO is to find perimeter shots. They get an easy transition foul there.
Two free throws coming by Hudgens, and I like Bowman not giving up that easy look there. I'd rather put him to the free throw line. No chance of an N one. Yeah. 53-38. I think the second half clock is going to go extremely slow. It just has that feel, doesn't it? That as long as Franklin is mounting this comeback and gathering steam, that clock is going to get slower and slower.
We're starting to see the physicality of the game kind of ramp up too.
2 missed free throws, so the foul by Bowman turns out to be an exceptional one. Jackson came in for Stoudemire. Blair still calling for the ball. Chaplin from 17. That is automatic from there. he is automatic from there.
Max is feeling it right
now.
And
a turnover. Jackson, the defensive pressure, calls the turnover. Bowman skipped past the Chaplin. And he stepped on the end. Oh, he traveled. I thought I was going to say he stepped on the out of bounds line, but he traveled. Either way, the turnover number, 6 or 7, somewhere around there.
So Hicks leads the way for the Engineers with 14. Stoudemire and Chaplin both with 9. Chaplin has 11 now. I thought that put him in double digits. So.
Pump fake. And it's long off the back iron. Have not seen King yet here in the second half for Franklin.
Franklin has just abandoned the interior.
They have.
They are solely looking for perimeter shots.
Good defense by Jackson, staying right with his man, hounding him. Oh, but a great bucket there by Bostic. What a take.
Yeah, that really was. That's about as tough as it gets when you're driving to the hoop, but he made it work.
Ooh, a tough pass from Blair to Chaplin, goes over Chaplin's head. It'll be a turnover, 13:07 to go, 55-40. Engineers clinging to that 15-point lead.
Coach Sales not real thrilled with that one.
No, he's not. Engineers, here comes there's King. More of I guess a easier offense to defend here for the Engineers now with this Franklin lineup. 7 on the shot clock. Bostic to Archie. It's a deep 3. Draws nothing. King can't save it. That was, I don't know how many times in this game, I probably will say 8, where you're at 8 seconds on the shot clock and on Rosie's ear near half court.
I think they found another pet peeve of yours is what I think.
Well, I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but more of a surprising that.
Well, I mean,
they've
yeah,
gone
there's
even the
just
shot clock that many times.
the success rate on those possessions is probably down around 10%.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, a take by Jackson in a left-hand layup is good.
You know, he just had that done to him on the other end. I think
Yeah.
it put a burr in him there, and he was, I can do that too.
Looking to the block. A nice drive once again. Oh, Bowman picks up that foul. Jalen Love. Jalen Love with the drive. We're going to get to the free throw line. 6'2" junior from Indianapolis, went to Pike High School. Another one of those proud programs in the Indianapolis area.
We're seeing Franklin win a lot of these one-on-one matchups
Yes,
to
we
the
are.
basket. So now
Yes, we are.
your problem, if you're Rose, do you start helping out? Because then you're going to free up a man on the perimeter.
I'd say no.
So
I
you might
would
just
say
take
no.
your licks down
That's
there
right.
because they're keeping pace with them.
Swinging to the corner to Farnsworth. Nice cut to the block, and he didn't want to get King that fourth foul. He couldn't defend that like he wanted to. McGowan the easy 2. Ooh,
Yeah, I
close
thought he
to a
walked.
travel. Yeah, me too.
Pretty quiet night from Flat.
Once again, it's man every man. Nathaniel Hoffman beat Blair off the bounce. They're just off the bounce. They're just quicker than we are. Oh, and a bad pass. A bad pass leads to a turnover. Here comes Franklin. Can they capitalize? They get it to King. King to the corner. And a great, oh boy, a great block by Blair. I was getting ready to say a great baseline run, but Blair comes out of nowhere. It's going to get, it's going to go the other way to the Engineers. 11-11 on the clock. Engineers with a 14-point lead will be right back.
Your all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an all-pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one all-pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1. You are. You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Well, when we went to break, there was a whistle. I thought they got Blair with a block that resulted in a jump ball. But I'm being told they're calling an offensive foul. If that's the case, I definitely did not see that one. Either way, Rose-Hulman has the ball. But, boy, an offensive foul, that would be a horrendous call.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was
Whoa, Rose close to a 5-second trying to get that ball in bounds. As man, sometimes you miss some.
No,
and that would go in that miss some category. Well, Rose benefits regardless. So we're not giving it back. Harden gets to the elbow and knocks it down. 61-45. How long can Rose keep this lead around 15 points? Everybody makes a run the fourth quarter. My dad always tells me that.
I was just about to say they've survived the third quarter.
Yes, they have.
So
yes, they have. King backing down McGowan. McGowan's length created some difficulty. A late call on the foul. will give King an opportunity for an and one.
And makeup call.
I agree with you. Especially if that was a charge on the last one, that definitely would. Hey, that's the way it goes.
Rose, the big men inside, they're a little too quick to jump.
Yeah.
They're getting caught with a lot of these fakes, and maybe not tonight, but at some point it's going to get them in some foul trouble.
And given their size, you don't necessarily need to go for the up fakes. Just wait till they leave their feet. King has one at the charity stripe. 61-48. Ooh, Jackson close to a carry. Still the zone. Hicks back into the game. Doubling the wings. Really, oh my gosh, another turnover.
Yeah, they got to get Max back in.
Ooh, little hand contact, and here comes Rose. Now with a 3-on-1 break.
Beautiful.
Jackson misses the layup. King, little out of control, and a foul! Oh, they called a foul on Blair. Oh, boy.
Now, Walt, I don't like saying bad stuff about the refs. But that's two down here now that have made absolutely no sense.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I don't even know what he's seeing down there.
Well, King will get 2 more free throws.
We're kind of silent right now.
Well,
I don't think we know what to
there's one of these that and I'm not being malicious here, but there's one of these that actually tells the referee's names, and I'm not trying to call the guy out.
Yeah.
I just want to give them man, people are not going to believe me. I like to be able to say the referee's names, but we never have their names. But I know in the software they usually put it, but I can't find it. That's probably good right now anyway.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, a turnover. A turnover. They tried to inbound, get the pass into Hicks. There could be a single-digit deficit here on this possession, and it is.
Oh, boy.
Well, probably a timeout would be good here. Down to a 9-point lead, 61-52.
Probably need to regroup a little bit here. You got to get Max back in. Oh, he is in there. Okay.
Need a good possession here. Miss Hicks. Have Chaplin.
Nice find.
Relocates to Harden. Bingo. That's a big triple. Coach Jeff Sokol pumps his fist up here in the balcony. Well, about 30 feet from us.
Another great find from Chaplin.
Yeah. Solid screen by King. Will he dial up a 3? Oh, he traveled. He traveled and he thought about it. Shuffled the puppies. Logan Hudgens coming back in the game for King. King still has 3 fouls, so when he comes back in the next time, be able to be a little bit more aggressive. A bucket here for the Engineers would be big. Oof. Move the ball. Corner 3. No good. Sample swings it. Oh, Hud just thought about it. Probably should have taken it. Early in the offense, though. Maybe he didn't want to take that one.
Still can't believe how quiet Carter Crow's been.
Oh, that's a foul. Yeah, there's one. And that's a 17 foul on Rose-Hulman versus 1 on Franklin in the half. Yeah, if I'm Coach Sales, I'm letting the referees know about that for sure. And he might be doing that right now. I remember the referee that's at the half court. I remember him refereeing some of my Boys and Girls Club games when I coached in high school, in college. Me and some buddies, a couple of buddies of mine from Indianapolis, coached a few years at the Boys and Girls Club, and that referee was a beginning ref, and he was in college at that point, reffing at the Boys and Girls Club. Chaplin on the take, gets to the free throw line. Franklin hopping mad, literally as two of them hop in the air. Their second team foul, under 8, timeout. 64 Rose-Hulman, 53 Franklin. We'll be right back after these messages on the Indiana Sports Network.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care. Leaving a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Men's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
7:58 to go in the game. Rose-Hulman clinging, and I mean clinging to an 11. I don't know how many times I've felt more nervous about a double-digit lead than I do right now.
Yeah, it is. You kind of feel uneasy right now.
Yes.
I get that. It's you feel like the momentum's with Franklin. They're shooting a little better here in the second half.
60% in the second half, Franklin shooting.
But, you know, Max has been strong, so he's at the line now.
Not going to jinx him. You hear how quiet it got in here?
That was wild.
Boy, it just got so quiet. Max laughing about it right now. Max with the black headband tonight.
There's a lot of tension in the building.
There is. Kind of like a putt on the 18th green.
Yeah.
In a championship tournament, it gets so quiet. It's kind of weird to a basketball gymnasium to get that quiet. Ball going the other way. The entry pass was a little awry.
Yeah, Hudgens a little off on that one. That's a big break for Rose.
Yep.
Take your time. Work for a good shot. Rose-Hulman in control of this one most of the game.
The turnover bug here in the second half has started to mount its ugly head. Rose with 11 so far in the game. Harden, the corner three. No. Oh, look at that outlet pass. Oh, that should have been an and one. That was a foul by Stoudemire. Got away with it as he hit flat in the ribs, basically.
Flats in double digits now. Him and Bostic, the only two for Franklin.
They had negative numbers. We had 4 back. They had 1 charging, and they still scored an easy layup. That's troubling.
Yeah, Stoudemire was a little flat-footed.
Yes.
Flat was full speed.
Yes.
So they didn't call the reach, so it's an easy bucket.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that tape, and that's
they'll get a talking to.
Yeah, on that. It's about, effort defensively, the transition, you got to get back. So.
And it's every possession, you got to be on it.
That's right.
You can't give away the easy baskets, man. They add up too quick.
Only the third team foul for Franklin on that one, so they can be very aggressive. Engineers get trapped in the corner. 8 on the shot clock. Oh, and the bounce pass goes nowhere. Oh, boy, they're saying it was tipped. Not going to get that call. Coach Sales, he's arguing his case. The referee said nobody saw it. We're going the other way.
Coach Sales feels like he's getting homered at home a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes that feeling can be there. 11-point lead for the Engineers. Looking for Crow, still has 7 points. Got to pay attention to him. Flat. The king of travel. Give me the travel. Holy moly. Everybody saw that. Woo-wee. And they're going to call him an offensive foul now. Lord have mercy. If you just called the travel to begin with, you don't have to do that.
You know, the strange thing,
man.
3 out of these 4 crazy calls that I can count have involved Lynn King for some reason.
He's like a crazy call magnet tonight.
He is.
Oh, man.
Whatever you think it's going to be called, it's the opposite when Lynn King's
involved. That's too bad. That's too bad. You want to see the young man in the game. Stoudemire, the 3. Steps into it and knocks it down. That's a big bucket, Troy.
It's a good-looking shot and a huge bucket for Rose. Boy, if you're Franklin, you better ramp it up and now.
Looking for the back door. There's a hold. It's going to be free throws for Carter Crow. He'll step to the free throw line.
Yeah, they got Terry with that.
Well, this will be the first free throw for Crow, and it's going to lead to a timeout. 5:42 to go. Engineers up 14. Back after this.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy. Since 1872, we are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
Some say that our approach to selling wooded ground is crazy. I prefer to think that we're nuts.
Beech.
Walnut.
White oak.
Hickory. We feel having an agent who is nuts about your property helps us attract more customers, making us, well, poplar. For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
(69-55). The Engineers on top of Franklin with 5:42 remaining in this contest. Troy, what do the Engineers have to do to secure this victory?
Well, honestly, I mean, Max has been carrying the load here in the second half, but just patient possessions. You just want to answer whatever Franklin puts up. Try to keep it in that double digit, between 10 and 15.
Hicks couldn't get that shot to go down. A nice shot at the free throw line area. And, oh boy, it's a deep one. And it's knocked in by Bostic. That's what is this, his second or third 3 of the night?
Yeah, he hit 2 early on.
Ooh, that was deep.
There was I forget his name, there was a left-handed guy on Wabash that just killed him from 3, and Bostic reminds me of him.
Engineers with 5 left to play. Hounding defense on Chaplin, finds McGowan. Down to 7, ball tipped. Inbounds, it will be inbounded with 6 on the shot clock. Be interesting to see what the Engineers draw up here on this sideline out of bounds play.
Yeah, I would think you want to try to get the ball down inside. Hudgens down there, I think he's got 4 fouls.
Stoudemire with 4. Going to have to put this up. No time for a pass. Over Hudgens, draws iron. McGowan, can he squeeze it? Yes.
Get it out of there. There you go.
Off the glass with his left hand. That was a big board by McGowan. Big board.
I was about to start yelling what my dad always used to yell.
What's that?
You're 6.5 feet tall. Get the ball off the floor.
Yes. Flat. Off the front iron. Stoudemire. Harden thinks about it. Actually, he really didn't think about it, I don't think.
Patient possessions
Yes.
here. Can run that clock down, burn this game down to nothing.
Chaplin back into the corner now. Outlets it to Stoudemire. Harden. Down the paint. Corner three! No! McGowan, another offensive board.
Boy, Miles is man of the moment here. He's been huge in the paint.
13 points, 12 boards for Miles McGowan tonight. 15-point advantage for Rose-Hulman. A stop here could be nice. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. 3:23 to go as do we have a media timeout or do we not? Yes, we do. 15-point lead for the Engineers. Back for the conclusion after these messages.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching the Indiana Sports Network.
At great.
You know, Troy, Rose-Hulman and Franklin have played 3 times in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Will this be 4 out of 5? This is the first iteration of this 2022-23 season. And Rose-Hulman is looking. They're 3:23 away from taking the first meeting.
If Rose-Hulman can bring it every game like they have tonight,
Yeah.
they're going to be in the conference tournament, no doubt.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're going
They'll
to be one
top
of the
2
favorites.
seeds. They'll be top 2 seed if they play like this.
Oh, yeah.
But who knows?
But Franklin's tough, man. There's a lot of talent on this team.
King wheels, deals, and
King's
scores.
one of them.
Yeah. At the buzzer. They use the whole 30 seconds, but they get 2 points. Chaplin thinks better of the 3-point take, especially right in front of his coach. Jackson the pass to Hicks.
Whoa.
He got hammered, but he's going to
Okay.
absorb the contact, get 2 free throws. Only team foul number 5 for Franklin, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
I think that's King's 5th.
Oh, wow, I didn't catch that. Yeah, you're right. Get serenaded by the the Rose-Hulman Corral of students.
Do want to mention this Saturday, Rose-Hulman hosts Bluffton at 3:30. Every other Saturday game here at home for the rest of the season, they've moved to 1 o'clock starts instead of the normal 3:30 because obviously losing the women for the season.
Right,
so.
sadly enough, yeah. Couple of free throw makes for Terry Hicks as he is up to, what, 16, something like that? 15, 16? Bostic, another deep one. No, Hicks with another rebound. That gives him a double-double. So he has a double-double. McGowan has a double-double.
Got the Twin Towers tonight.
Just a strong performance here tonight by the Engineers. They just, from start to finish, I'll say, is Chaplin with another 3-point hit. His 4th triple of the night. The Engineers have looked strong. The one area, if you pick things apart, off the bounce, they have been picked apart like Leftover turkey.
There you go. I was waiting to see where you were going to go with that. So
it's going to be a food reference.
That was good, though. But you're right. It took Franklin a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
But they have really beaten Rose in the one-on-one matchups. But, Rose-Hulman, they've answered the bell on offense, especially in the second half. Chaplin's been big. He's up to 16 now on the night. Hicks was 16. Stoudemire 12. I mean, McGowan's huge in the paint, 13. So,
you look at the schedule. It is the last game of the season. That will be Rose at Franklin, and you wonder how McGowan, another offensive board, another putback. There's no answer for him with this lineup. It's just just the no size for Franklin. But you just wonder how Franklin's philosophy will change, or will it be exactly the same? Will they go more off the bounce against Rose in the second meeting?
Yeah, I expect they'll mix it up pretty good, but there's going to be a lot more of that a lot earlier.
Sure.
They're going to try to isolate and go man-to-man with them. And
Chaplin again.
Wow.
Bingo, bango. Max Chaplin. He's found his stroke here tonight.
Boy, he's just been on fire here in the second half.
That is not good for the conference. Archie can't shake Jackson, but shoots a rainmaker over him anyway. Down to the last 60 seconds.
Max is just 2 away from career high. Or sorry, season high, not career high.
Chaplin, another double-digit scoring output. I think his 8th of the season, I do believe, is just engineers have just looked really strong tonight. Offensively, they're the best that I've seen them. And I've seen mostly their games.
Good round of applause there for some of these guys. Harden, Chaplin, McGowan coming out, Stoudemire. Chaplin, that's the most threes he's hit in a game all season.
Hicks still out there. Has the ball. Turns, deals.
Get it back to, there we go. Very solid night. Offensively, defensively, the Engineers brought it this evening.
Yeah.
And that's a huge conference win.
It is. Very big. In a conference that's going to be very deep this season, as Farnsworth gets points number 7 and 8.
I believe that's the most the Engineers have scored all season.
85 points is a lot, so should be last possession here. I knew they were going to call that foul. I was just going to say, please don't call the foul. Oh,
yeah, the previous high, they beat Earlham 77-65, and 85 tonight thrown up by Rose-Hulman.
That's a big win. This is a really big win for the Engineers. As we mentioned, coming in losers of 3 straight. The second of 4 in a row at home. You want to get the conference one. They do that. Still have 2 more conference games ahead, with Franklin and Bluffton coming up next. Both of those teams. Franklin with Bluffton and Manchester. I'm sorry. Both of those teams coming up, and so it'll be interesting as the season progresses. But here tonight, Rose-Hulman did what we wanted them to do. 85-66, they get the victory. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Come back with our post-game show. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
I ran out of my pain meds too quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional, safe, no wait times, quality treatment. Regain something lost. Call or go to winrecovery.org.
You are watching HCAC men's basketball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
85-66, your final score here at Rose-Hulman as, Rose-Hulman looked good tonight, Troy. They needed a big win and got the win from start to finish.
Yeah, really. Offensively, defensively, I mean, everything was clicking tonight. It was really fun to watch. You hope that's the team that can show up every game. You don't expect that, but, I mean, it was great coming out of the break. Really set the tone for this second half of the season. And, you know, they got a wild one going in Manchester, and we thought Manchester was going to lay claim to the Heartland Conference tonight, but Rose-Hulman stepped up, and we've got some talking to do.
They do, and it's going to be a wild season. Terry Hicks, dominant tonight, had a great first half. Max Chaplin, a great second half. So you have some guys, two of your senior leaders that you need to step up, really did so tonight.
Yeah, and double-doubles for both of them. Terry had 16. I mean, he set the tone early, really got things rolling offensively and rebounding especially. Set the tone on the boards for the Engineers. And then kind of when he fell off, that's when McGowan stepped up. And then the second half, boy, Max went crazy.
He did.
Fun to watch, and he kind of sealed the deal on this one. Inside, outside, in the middle too. You know, it was a Rose-Hulman kind of night, and it was a enjoyable evening here in the Holbert Arena.
You know, I'm looking at 11 for 24. That's a big number for Rose-Hulman beyond the arc. They hit 11 three-pointers. It's going to be really tough to beat them on a night-in, night basis. Carter Crow, he ended up with 7 points. I was way off. I said he's going to be close to his average. I'm glad to be wrong on that one. So kind of surprising there, but Rose-Hulman just really shot the ball well in the second half.
Yeah, really, him and Flat, they shut both of them down. But, yeah, the shooting, you know, they attacked in the paint so much right at the start with Hicks and McGowan and Blair that it opened up that outside. And, you know, Max made him pay. Stoudemire, I think, had 3 threes. And, boy, he's just a spark sometimes. He doesn't score a ton. He had a couple defensive lapses, but – boy, he's a weapon on the floor, and with him and Max in the backcourt, this is a dangerous Rose-Hulman team.
And Rose-Hulman was dangerous tonight as they come away with an 85-66 win. Manchester and Anderson locked up in a tight one late. That was about 30-point at halftime.
That's crazy.
And that's 96-95 in the last minute. So coming up, Rose-Hulman, you know, look at it, Saturday. They have a big contest before that. We at the Indiana Sports Network will be at Park Heritage. Park Heritage has a big game against, I can't remember, South Vermillion. There'll be a big game on the road there. So Friday night, 7:30 will be the tip-off, 7:15 pregame show. And then Saturday will be right here at the Holbert Arena. As Bluffton comes to town, it'll be a 3:30 affair, 3:15 on the tip. Troy, your last impressions of the night's broadcast?
Yeah, you know, you hope they just keep it rolling. You know, this was the second game of a 4-game homestand. You got Bluffton coming up. They've had their struggles so far. They're just, I think, 2-6 so far on the season. So that's one where you got to come in with the mindset, take care of business. You know, you got to get all these conference wins you can. After that, you got Manchester, who
likes to score.
Who knows what to expect there? 60 points in the first half, and now they're fighting to hang on. So, but if Rose-Hulman plays like they did tonight, especially on the defensive end, they can compete with anybody in the Heartland Conference. Look forward to a good second half.
And we want to thank our sponsors for one last time. Culver's Farm Bureau Insurance with Michael Bonomo, Great Dane, Hamilton Center, Honey Creek Collision Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Mossy Oak Properties, Rodale National Bank, and York Automotive. Cannon Harper, Nathan Cowan, and Sebastian De La Rosa are camera operators. Our producer and director, Mr. Tony Harper, for Troy Wilson and Walter Gordon, saying good night, God bless. This has been a production of Indiana Sports Network, LLC. Thank you for watching.
You're watching Rose-Hulman Men's Basketball on the Indiana Sports Network.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.